cracked my back before.
Yeah, yeah, but
Oh, you like what you see?
yeah.
Daddy.
I don't know, something with the hair and the. I think I'm attracted to you now.
It's about time. I've been working on you for 30 years.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Autopod Decepticast, your bi-weekly podcast that delivers an episode-by-episode breakdown of the original G1 series. This is APDC episode 205.
That's right.
I've been using your
Yeah, I had
handy Excel sheet.
I realized I hadn't updated it, and that's why we were one episode behind all the time.
So it's Ryan's fault, huh?
It is.
Yep.
Every
Okay.
time he yelled at me, if you're listening to past episodes, just know
You listened
It's
to,
it's his fault.
but you
valid,
put
it's
the
valid.
episode on the website, like you see what episode it is.
Yeah, but
Speaking
that's
of-
after we've recorded. Let's see. 205.
Yeah.
91 on the Transformers episode count, Call of the Primatives, which aired November 18th, 1986.
What
Nothing special about that day.
What episode? I did a cursory evaluation, and we did this before, but I couldn't find what episode it was.
You're right.
got that feeling. I was watching this and I was like, yeah. Yeah. I got the same feeling. But you just confirmed that we actually did record it before.
I know that we did. I
Yeah,
remember
we did
doing
because
it.
Aaron picked it to do because he wanted to get to season 3.
Was it this? Slow your scroll?
No, that's totally the
Credits.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, the
You're
credits.
right.
Yeah, I couldn't find where it was, and I'd be like, "Am I crazy?"
No, I know we did it. I absolutely know we did
Is
it.
the rest of this episode just us looking around to find when we did this before?
This is why you're here.
I hope so.
Did you do a Google?
I didn't do a Google. You sound like my mother.
Well, nothing is coming
Yeah, I
up,
couldn't find it. I have no idea.
easily.
That's weird.
Is this a Mandela thing?
Yeah, are we gonna slipped into a different universe? Anyway, I know we've done it because I
know we
remember
have.
you were talking about you just wanted to get to the craziness of season 3, and we did it for some reason. I don't know.
I think it
why.
was because of the Unicron connection. It felt like one of the
Oh,
episodes that was most tied into the movie.
Did we do it
And
during the movie or after we finished the movie?
It had to be during the movie.
I think it had to be after.
Ugh.
Why would I just insert it?
I don't know.
While we
That's
were
why I'm
doing
saying
it.
I couldn't find it because after the movie we took a break and then we did G.I. Joe and then
Right.
we started the series.
Weird.
Listeners, let
Yeah,
us know
help,
what we
listeners.
did. And also, you'd think I'd notice it from loading the episodes onto YouTube.
I think this is
Yeah.
a sign of what's to happen in the, give us like 10, 20 more years of doing this, and this will be all of our episodes. Like,
Right.
what would we
Do you
do?
remember?
I'm pretty sure we reviewed the movie.
Where am I?
I don't know if we introduced ourselves. I'm Aaron.
Oh, Ryan.
I'm Caleb.
We're just getting right into it today. I thought it
I
would
guess.
I thought it would be kind of interesting. I was fucking around at our analytics
Mm-hmm.
and the geography thing.
Yes,
was really interesting.
I look
to
at
me.
it from time to
It
time.
is only, I think, who visits the website, though.
It is right, but I assume there's got to be a
Some-
correlative
Mhm.
effect there.
Germany's always ranking very
And
high.
it blows me away. The reason I did this, the reason I went down this rabbit hole is I was just checking to see if there were any international iTunes reviews to shout out on the show.
We can't see German. There's nothing. I've seen no reviews for Germany.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything for really anybody. I didn't this go around. I couldn't find anything, and I don't know if in the process I used to look for it, if maybe Apple Podcast just doesn't report some
countries.
Some countries.
I think that's
like
the case.
China, I think is problematic because every time I try to look up China, like
won't let
I
you-
get
it won't let
I
you.
know
diverted
that
to a weird place.
The sort of a sidebar, but like in uploading the YouTube things, there's sometimes copyright, not strikes, but like partial, like you can't monetize this video
Like it's
because there's a
claimed.
song in it or whatever. But there's some that are partially blocked in certain regions, and it's always Malaysia and Russia.
Yeah,
Of ours?
Yeah,
it's the
it's because of the song,
yeah.
and it's like weird songs like Prince.
And it has nothing to do with. It's just because they have restrictions in their country.
Yeah.
So they're not allowing those episodes to be viewed in those countries.
I feel like we've talked shit about so many countries.
I did have to on 2 videos completely mute or cut out the music part because it was completely blocked because of like some studio that owns it.
Right.
So
I keep meaning on the side note to re-edit our TFCon DC video with the snarky remark about because we been claimed by like several times for our TFCon stuff, like clips with using like Death Row, Snoop Dogg, that kind of thing. But it's just claimed. They don't take it down. I guess they
Right.
just get
It just
whatever
means
ad revenue
You can't
is
monetize
generated
it,
for it,
basically.
right? But yeah, the one just was like, "Fuck you guys,
Yeah.
you can't show this video," which I guess fair enough. But with the Snoop Dogg one, I feel like we definitely used a large portion, or I used a large portion of that song. But I mean, it was like 10 seconds of All by Myself.
Wow.
It was nothing. I mean, people out there who are like music licensing people are like, doesn't matter, fucker.
Yeah,
Quit
I like
stealing our shit.
I like how you put. I don't think they have the anger behind it. that you
Hey,
imagine that they
fucking
have.
asshole.
The anger is all one-sided. Okay, so so I just I filtered it here on last year just so we had some big aggregated numbers. United States is far and away. I mean, it's 65%, almost 66% of our website visits. But Germany, what the fuck?
It's been that way a long
It's
time.
what? Almost 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10%. Somebody's in the cities of Bayern and Niedersachsen. Those are the 2 biggest areas. Bayern, is that a city or is that an area? That must be like
Those
a region.
those are cities.
So Nuremberg.
Oh, I see. You're right. That's a region, and then these are cities within that region. Gotcha.
Nuremberg is our number 1 city in Germany. Shout out to
Nuremberg.
I
I think
heard there was some awesome trials there. I don't
My
really
favorite
know- I
trials.
don't know much about Nuremberg or Germany in general, other than
I haven't been there. I've been to
World War
Munich.
II, Cold
I've been to
War stuff.
Munich, and I've been to. I haven't been to Berlin. I think I've only been to Munich.
I've been to Munich Airport.
I went to the
That's about it.
was it Dachau? I think I went to Dachau. I went to the concentration camp, and that is a somber place. It's weird to take pictures there. You
Right.
can't take selfies because it just feels too creepy.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was against the rules to take selfies.
No, you
or-
can, but it just feels not good.
Right.
It doesn't feel right.
There might be a social demerit for
Yeah.
doing a peace sign, tongue stick out.
Then a Hagio face.
Yeah.
So I guess,
So that's Germany.
but I guess to get to the core of that, German listeners,
Reach out.
reach out.
What up?
What's up? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah. Or German website browsers if we want to be more specific.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is for 10%. They double.
Ich bin ein APDC.
They double the UK's reaction or action on our website. In the UK, you've got the city of Watford.
Are we going to read through all of the towns?
No,
here?
we're not going to read through all the towns. I just want to, recognize if somebody from Watford,
What's up, Watford?
is paying attention. Hey, you're making an impact on our analytics.
Where
here.
my Watfords at?
Watford in Hertfordshire. Let's not forget about Northamptonshire. They're up in here. Bristol making an appearance.
He's going to read through all the cities.
Shut up. But let's
This is engaging content.
yeah. But hey, wait, one more. Let's talk about the Netherlands.
2%.
2% of our website action comes from the Netherlands.
It's weird that Canada's so small.
Yeah, it's about the same as the Netherlands. Then Austria.
I guess Canada doesn't have that many people. Like, Canada has fewer people than California. It's crazy.
Shout out to our least engaged countries: Taiwan, Turkey, Thailand and Portugal,
I feel like we have a lot
and
in
the Kingdom
China.
of Jordan. China, I think, was number 5 or 6 on the list. All right, well, I just thought it was interesting to,
Yes.
to think
Yeah.
about
Sure.
that there's people in other countries other than the UK and Australia, which we are the most familiar with, probably from our, they're our cousins.
Yeah, we're all from the same place, the Honky Motherland.
And the Canada thing does throw me as well. Maybe Canadians just aren't into Transformers.
Well, there's only like 30. There's only like 30
what
million
TFCon
of them.
is.
There are only like 30 million Canadians.
Well, I bet you there's more Canadians than there are Germans. What do you think?
No, Germany's huge.
You're talking about from a population
Yeah.
standpoint. Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Germany's Europe's like capitalist powerhouse. Population of Europe.
Versus Germany. Yeah.
I'm sure you're right. Canada, just give me the population. 38.2. It's not that far. 10 million difference. 46.1. Oh, wait. 46.1 million more people live in Germany.
So double the population by
Yeah.
more than
And
double.
then some. All right. You're welcome
That's
for this wonderful content.
geography, right?
Shout out to all of the international
Listeners. Yeah, we love you.
Or website visitors.
Yeah.
We should start on the introductions doing just picking a different language and doing the introduction in that on every episode.
Let's do it now. No, I don't have time to Google this. Which reminds me of a thing that I posted on the Discord that only Caleb paid attention to, but God bless Caleb.
What?
On the Is This Music, there's this guy. His name is the artist's name is the guy who sings songs about cities and towns.
Oh yeah.
And he's prolific.
He is.
He's got about every state as far as I can tell, and even plenty of countries. And his albums are like 30 to 40 songs long.
Gotta
Like,
get
he's
those
thorough.
Each song is about a different city. Yeah.
So I posted the ones about Springfield and Nixa.
He did Nixa. How
Weird.
awesome is that?
I mean, he did like Joplin and Ozark.
He
hit the hubs.
yeah, definitely.
Wow.
It seems like me and Aaron really enjoy this guy, and everybody else is like,
Who cares?
I did that on. Posted this on a couple of different other chats that I'm on, and man, it just fell flat as a pancake. I thought it would really tickle people's fancies.
Nobody likes our boomer content.
Yeah.
All right. Well, talking about the Discord, let's shout out the patrons.
Hey.
You,
Guys.
Alpha Magnus, Debbie, Jeremy, Skeeter, Mr. Sadler, Mike Seibert, Bono, Michael Trimblett, Old School Justin, Jonathan, Robinus Prime, Classic Daniel, Safubi Samurai, Chandler, J Soups, Maddie V, Nick the Toy Mad Dad, Ken Bockelman, DFB Greg Murray, Captain Alexis, Corey, James and Julia, Michael Ordway, Tim Dubs, Jason from Cracktastic Plastic, Thomas, New School Justin, Triclops, Alex, Simon, Squid King, New Daniel, Seven the Chronicler, Argonus Prime, Brian Jones, and Rick, a.k.a. Autobot 1000.
Nice.
I love you 1000.
I don't get that reference.
It's from Infinity War. Or is it
Is
in
it a
game?
Pepper
I
Potts
think it's in
thing?
game. No, he said Tony Stark's daughter says it to him. She says, "I love you 3000."
Great. If you're interested, come to our Patreon site at patreon.com/AutopodDecepticast. Check out the benefits. See if it's right for you. We think it might be.
I think it's
worth exploring.
/APODcast.
What did I say?
Autopod Decepticast.
/APodDcast.
You can find it.
It's not that big a deal. It's not that hard. We know how it works. Ryan,
Yo.
would you please summon us to your whatever mysterious beverage you have?
Come all
Go
primitives.
I'm sorry to bore everybody with the geography conversation. Germany, United States, UK, the Netherlands. Oh, are we in school? Oh, we're at the Churchill Downs.
Hey,
Did the Kentucky Derby, I guess that happened this weekend? I'm not up on things.
happened last night.
Shout out to our
but-
patrons that are in the, what's the name of that fucking city? Where the Churchill Downs is? Louisville. Shout out to our Louisville listener.
Boy, look at him
I
go.
have a couple. Yeah, I guess. Did you place any bets?
I did.
Which one?
All of them.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna win.
That's a money making tactic right there.
I win every time.
What did you show up with, and what do you expect to leave with?
I'm showing up with a bunch of money, and I usually leave with less money. But I still have a good time.
Yeah, pass me that julep.
Yeah, here you go.
Thanks.
I like your hat.
Yeah, there's so many red hats here. Is that what thing they do there?
It's
Or just hats.
Just
in
hats.
general? Okay, all right.
It's a mob of the red hat ladies.
Is that the thing they do here? Yeah, we have. I don't know if it's a Springfield thing, but yeah, I think there's a women's charity that's just red hats. They go to lunch and wear red hats. Oh wait, I didn't even pay attention. Who won?
They all just died.
Oh fuck!
No, wait, they got back up. They got back up. They're running us some more. Woo! This is the craziest race I've ever seen.
No, it's just another group of horses they release. Eventually, they're going to trample over the dead bodies of the other horses.
This is amazing. Just a pile of dead horses.
This is the twist on the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
I think they needed to rebrand it for Gen Z.
Yeah. It was last night, and I bet on a couple horses. They lost, but Andy bet on one, and it won. And the horse that won is called Mage.
Oh,
So,
that's why you said that.
Coming of Mage, yeah.
Okay.
It's the most when I post stuff to people are like, okay, Caleb. It's
Well,
just
in
like
that instance, I was kind of like that. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Well,
I didn't know there was a.
I took a picture of
Kentucky
myself,
Derby.
and it was
Yeah, but I don't think I had the context that it was around the Derby.
I'm too mysterious. I should have said
I just-
Kentucky Derby or
I was
something.
like, these guys
I
are
just thought
dressed
everybody
up
knew
for
that
a
the
nice
Derby
little
was
date
going on.
night. Oh, here they come around the corner again. Third round of horses.
No, those aren't horses. There's a hailstorm going on right now. That's the biggest hail. Oh my God, it's pummeling the horses to death.
Oh God, there's so many dead horses here at the
And
Churchill Downs.
Those hats are getting ruined out there. Oh, the humanity.
Hey, but it's keeping our juleps even frostier.
Yeah, that's great. Listen, people are crying in terror. Is that terror? They're not running. They're just trampling in place really hard.
Does that make me think of the
Oops.
cartoon?
Oops.
The cartoon, yeah, the Tom Green.
I'm Freddy got
Tom
fingered.
Green cartoon.
Oh,
That was a good. That some say the Kentucky
I'm gonna
Derby
go inside
is
here. That was
decadent and
cra-
depraved.
I just noticed that the ambient galloping horse sounds here is an hour long. It's like, can you imagine racing a horse? Yeah, it was quite a waspy day for me, and I've said that before. But I woke up, I watched the coronation of King Charles III, and then I went to a, and then I went. Yeah, I did.
Why?
I'm a sucker for watching ceremonies and and pageantry.
So I saw in our text exchange. I guess I wasn't aware, and I did not follow up and look up the dick thing.
Yeah, they mowed a dick into the lawn of the coronation grounds.
Who is they?
Nobody knows.
And I found out it wasn't. It didn't look
Can't just-
mowed. It didn't look mowed. It looks like it was like a weed killer or a grass killer.
Cool. I love it.
And it was.
Fuck
So
that
way they
fucking
could-
shit.
So that way they couldn't mow over it unless they decided to just
It's true.
scorch the earth.
It'll just be dead there. Yeah. It was at
Love
the
it.
Royal Crescent, which was some grounds for some sort of after party.
How detailed was this penis?
It
Not
looked great.
detailed, but it was very straight. Like they did. It wasn't just hastily drawn.
No, it was awesome.
Someone did some planning, and it was like the balls are perfect circles. It's like they must have used like a, I don't know. There was measurement. There was measuring
Right.
involved.
Maybe it was like the same aliens that do crop circles.
Yeah,
They just
Well,
are very precise. Did they try to cover it up at all, or
I didn't follow up with it.
I've tried to ignore everything that has to do with the coronation.
Anyway, I watched it. It was interesting, and then I
Alright.
watched horses race.
I refuse to believe it was interesting.
Well,
does he give a speech?
uh,
He's like, ho ho, I'm your king now.
This is stupid to exist in the 21st century, isn't it?
you guys understand that like you understand the Kentucky Derby.
Turkey Derby.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I did.
Fuck the Royals.
What did you do yesterday other than be grumpy about coronations?
I wasn't grumpy. I was just like I couldn't avoid it. What did I do? I watched these episodes.
Yeah, we had work to do.
Yeah, I was busy.
Caleb forgot to watch him. He was so busy derbying and coronating.
Worshipping the king.
Yeah.
I watched it. I wasn't sitting there like worshiping anything.
He had a crown on. He was cosplaying.
Who disrupts my coronation?
Bring me more Hassenpfeffer.
I don't.
You know what that's from?
Nope.
Okay.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah. It's
Is it?
yeah. Anyway, let's
We need to move on, don't
Yeah.
we?
Hassenpfeffer is rabbit stew.
Delicious.
I've never had rabbit. Have you had rabbit?
I don't think so.
Do you know there's a thing called rabbit starvation where if you eat just rabbit, you'll die because there's not enough fat on them?
No, I didn't know that.
It's true. It's called rabbit starvation.
I hope to not experience that.
Yeah, let them, I'm trying to avoid it. But they're so delicious. I just keep sucking on their heads.
You could fuck up a rabbit. I mean, people know that about you.
Oh. This is a weird one.
It's your calling card. Ryan, what the fuck is in front of us?
Yeah.
Should we cheers?
Okay, I didn't intentionally put 2 bourbon cocktails in successive episodes, but here we are, so I hope you guys like whiskey. This is a tiki drink called the Halakaluni cocktail. It originates in the 1930s in the Hawaiian Halakaluni Hotel at their House Without a Key lounge. This version is a variation by Shannon Mustapher from her book Tiki Modern Tropical Cocktails, which is it's a great book. So we have a half an ounce or 15 mils of OJ, a half an ounce of lemon juice, 1 bar spoon, which is about a teaspoon, of grenadine, a couple of dashes of Angostura, half an ounce of Demerara syrup, half an ounce of pineapple juice, and 1.5 ounces of bourbon, 45 mils, which I used Rittenhouse, bottled in bond. Combine all ingredients and shake with ice, strain into a chilled coupe glass, and garnish with a pineapple wedge and a cherry. So let's give it a
I
shot.
feel like we're missing something, Ryan.
Yeah, where's the cherry?
It's in there.
Oh.
I just dropped it in the drink. So it's a little treat after you're done.
Cheers. Very careful.
I like it. Once again, these glasses are cool.
Yeah, those were for a Christmas present from my father.
You know, I knew I was going to like it from your description.
Yep.
And
It's
do.
really good.
Yeah.
I love it. I like tiki drinks in general. This one's a little sweeter than the original version with the pineapple juice. But I think it's better balanced. I like it better. But the original is really good too. It's a little. It's just tart.
Hey, you got some more of that?
I like
Nope.
it. Thank
He
you.
rarely spoils us.
I don't want you guys to get too comfortable.
One and done.
So, if you'd like to buy us a drink, this is not a buy us a drink episode. We do have one coming up that from Josh has challenged me with a pop culture one that will be coming up probably next episode, I think. But if you'd like to buy us a drink, just send us $5 to @APODcast on PayPal and put in the notes what you'd like me to make for you, and we will have it on an upcoming episode.
It's hard to believe we are almost done.
We're almost done with the series, yeah.
We've got, I think, 7
Something like that, yeah.
And that includes the 4th season, the 3-parter.
Does it?
I think so.
Oh, the return?
No, the Headmasters one, the 3
I
episodes.
feel like there's more than that, but we'll see. I don't know.
You're wrong.
If you want a toast, the podcast, and your
Good
credit don't stink, then reach inside your wallet now and buy us a drink.
There it is.
There it was.
I feel like Rittenhouse has been showing up a lot in our drinks. and
It's
I
my
see
favorite bourbon.
I see it a lot at bars. Just unfortunately named.
Why?
Every time I hear it, I think of Kyle Rittenhouse.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you're better off. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on.
He was at the coronation.
Have you guys seen? I did
He's
see
an American hero.
something
Yeah,
very
just
funny
kidding.
that people are seem to obsessed with this person, this mustachioed person at the coronation, and I saw a thing that was like some people think it was Meghan Merkel
In disguise. Yes. People were like, that person's totally in disguise. And then it turns out they're like, no, it's just a
weird-looking dude.
old man. It was like some composer that was invited, some British composer.
He does look like he's in disguise, though.
He does.
He's got a crazy mustache and
love
hair
it.
that may be a wig.
I say people need to look crazier at those kinds of things. So I did listen to an episode, a history of coronations, which was fun. I'm listening to about the history of like coronations that were disasters or just crazy coronations. One was back in the 1700s. A guy was trying to train a horse to back away from the king as like, oh, impressive. Like the horse knows to
it's bowing,
bowing or back away. But the training got all messed up, and the horse was trained to just back towards the king. Like, and so it kept following the king around backwards, and they finally pushed the horse out of wherever they were.
The coronation grounds.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually during the ceremony or not, but I think it was during a dinner or something. They pushed it out, and it kept pushing its way back through the door, ass first, into the room.
Okay.
That horse was just executed right there on the ground.
So after this episode, we have 7 more, including
like
the rebirth.
Sounds like something I said.
I didn't know the rebirth was a 4th season.
I think technically it's a 4th season.
There it is.
I remember this coronation. I think it was back in like 2005, where this guy, he was getting coronated, and then another guy showed up and just killed him, turned him to a pile of ash.
Oh,
stomped
I see
on
what's
his
happening.
crown, and then just took over. It was
terrible.
it was sort of a coup.
Bad comedy.
All right, last episode recap. Melissa Fairborn pulled out her dirty, rotten jackal moves in this quadruple crossed caper. That's what happened.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
So let's get in touch with some 86 movie lore with Call of the Primatives, animated by Toei. Studio Look, maybe some others.
Yeah.
Written by Donald F. Glutt.
I feel like this is we all know this is a very stylized and strangely illustrated and very detailed episode. A lot of people say that this is like the best animated one of season 3, which is a low bar. But I feel like a lot of Studio Look was involved in this because they did a lot of anime, and it feels very anime, where it's like
Definitely.
things don't necessarily move that much, but they just slide into frame and are very detailed.
They use some stylized techniques that give the appearance of action or drama that are actually pretty low work investment.
And apparently, students of the International Animation Institute Vocational School were also used to help animate this.
Well, Ryan, you and I did the same research.
Oh, shit.
I have a whole section on this.
Okay.
later.
Oh, cool. I thought I was really impressed by the animation.
I also feel like the voices seem modulated strangely. Like they seem different than usual.
In a good or bad way.
It's fine. It just seems. I watched this one like after our last episode, and it just seems like they're more. I don't know.
There's some
They're
effects
just-
added.
Yeah, they're more distorted than normal. It's fine. It's just weird.
Yeah, they really were just kind of trying to do things a little different with this one.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd done a little more of it, frankly. Well, let's get it started. We are in the depths of an ancient science kitchen. A dark and mysterious voice connected to a furry ape-like arm conducts a molecular symphony, eventually forming a being known as Tornedron, which is composed of energy, and it's going to succeed where its predecessor failed, for this predecessor was made of matter and was kind of unruly. But Tornedron, he is obedient and made of
energy.
pure energy.
You know,
Nope.
pure energy.
That's taking it back. So the being is released into space, and its first order of business, it being Tornedron, it just intersects with a comet, and we see it absorb all the energy of the comet and make
I will
it
say,
just a dead rock in space.
in addition to the fact I like the drawings on this, the energy, like the laser weapons and the energy stuff is very like sharp.
Yeah.
And I love it.
It's punchy.
Mm-hmm.
The explosions are great. You know, I love explosions.
Yeah, the explosions are good.
Even the poses, like the character models are all a little bit more stylized. The poses that we see them in as we transition to the next scene, the Autobots and Decepticons, they're engaged in a battle, and it's just spectacular.
Yeah,
and
it's
stylish,
great.
Yeah.
and the sweeps coming in, the way that their
Sweep
wings
6
are,
and 7.
yeah, the way that their wings are angled up. It's pretty awesome.
Why they're fighting on the moon, I don't know.
And I did read, so yeah, they're fighting on Earth's moon, although it's never named.
No.
I guess it's supposed to be obvious, as we'll find out.
They
in
never
a
name
second.
Earth either. Like,
Right, they don't. But you got Rodimus, Magnus, Springer, and Blaster against Galvatron, Cyclonus, a whole horde of sweeps.
well, the Dinobots too.
That looks good. Look at that shot. That looks great. The gun is recoiling in his arm. The contrast.
You got Predacons, you've got Terracons,
Yeah.
Soundwave hanging out.
You know, I guess I never really realized as a kid. Like, I never really consciously was aware of, like, oh, the animation on this episode is much better than the animation on that other episode. It just never.
Yeah.
I never noticed.
I did have the awareness that some were better than others,
Yeah.
and I could tell if one was going to be better, but I didn't know anything about the dynamics between different studios. I always
Right.
just assumed it was
Yeah, why would
Hasbro
Yeah.
drawing these pictures, and maybe you've got a team and a B team, and
So they're on the moon,
on the moon.
shooting at each other.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fucking wild, y'all.
But from a base elsewhere on Cybertron, Tornedron attacks Cup. He puts out the alert while Tornedron just takes on the form of a giant spider. It envelops the planet, kind of hugs the planet, really, and just sucks the essence from wheelies, slingshot, blades. Eventually, all of Cybertron is devoid of energy. The creepy-ass narrator gloats. Already, Tornedron has accomplished more than its predecessor, and as he does that, we pass on an image of Unicron's head. So this thing is meant to replace Unicron, guys.
Yeah, a
It's
really
Unicron
shitty
2.0.
drawing of Unicron's
It's
head.
not good.
He looks all ashy.
Of
and-
all the good things about this episode, that one's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's very strange. So we kind of find out here that Primacron is the one who created Unicron. So he's not made one but two insane creatures he can't control.
Well, he thinks he can control it. as
He
of right
thinks
now.
at this point, yeah, he can. But like,
Spoilers.
he's a very poor scientist.
Man, just like that. Cybertron.
Yeah,
Toast.
it's never really explained. We'll see in a minute. We'll get there. That's terrible. Unicron looks like a Viking.
It's like he's
like
made of
like a
stone.
dead Viking.
The Abot Decon fight continues on the moon. As Autobots wait for Skylinks to arrive, the Dinobots are transfixed on a strange... That was pretty funny.
Headstrong.
Which one is that? Headstrong, yeah. It was just knocked upside down and twerking.
like a turtle.
They're waiting for Skylinks. The Dinobots all of a sudden become transfixed on a strange voice and energy coming from space, requesting them and their fellow primitives to come.
Yep.
Galvatron means to capitalize on the Dinobots' distraction.
This weird thing, this microphone that pops out of his boobs is interesting. I thought it was kind of cool. Like
Did
a
it already
one-off.
happen?
No, not yet. I think it's later, but in just a minute. I think it's like 4:45. But it's just a weird, like, little microphone thing that pops out of his chest.
So as Galvatron tries to take advantage of the fact that the Dinobots are, up to something else, he commands the Predacons and Terracons to go Gestalt mode. The Beastbots get a few licks in, but soon they too are beckoned by the mysterious voice. I want to see this microphone. Even the stylization of the combiners
Yeah,
is really
it's pretty cool, especially Abominus. A lot of really sharp antennas in this one.
Yeah.
Even
at
Ultra
wild
Magnus's head,
angles.
yeah.
Yeah, on Ultra Magnus's head, they gave him extra greeblies. Oh, there it is.
Here comes Triptychon.
Triptychon looks great. Triptychon and Skylinks enter the battlefield. They are soon also transfixed by the strange signal. Soundwave and Blaster's chests burst open, releasing their beast tapes, who also answer to the call of the Primatives.
Laserbeak and Buzzsaw are missing.
They are not here. Maybe they're dead.
Okay, that's sad.
All the extra detail just looks
Yeah, it's
great.
awesome, especially on Triptychon.
Yeah, this is the best he's ever looked. He
By
generally
far,
looks
because it's
pretty
usually
dumpy.
animated by Acom.
Honestly, it's the best all of these guys have really looked. I love the the slightly wonked out proportions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sexy.
I do too. I like it.
It makes me sad because it just makes me feel like we could have
been
more
doing
of
this the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
We wouldn't have to shit talk anything if whatever combination of animators was involved more consistently. At this point, all the primitives are kind of collecting in the middle of the play field, but then Tornedron enters the arena, and it sucks the energy of the planet, freezing them into place. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Trypticon opens his chest hatch, and the beasts all load up Noah's Ark style and depart towards the source of the broadcast. And after they leave, that's when Tornedron shows up.
Yes.
Sucks all the energy, freezing the non-beast Autobots, Magnus, Rodimus, Blaster, in place. And then it kind of chases after the Decepticons. Well, actually, it's headed towards Earth is what it's happening.
And that's
Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Soundwave are just all in the way, and they suffer that same fate.
Yep, they all turn gray, which is that we've come to know that means dead.
Right.
It also reminded me of Dweller in the Depths, where they get
Became
the energy
zombified.
sucked out of
Yeah.
them and they turn gray.
Energy is such a big theme throughout the whole Transformers.
It's all about energy,
Yeah.
pure energy.
Then Tornedron goes to Earth and just sucks all the juice from Earth.
We kind of just gloss over that.
Yeah, the fact that all humanity was,
Right.
Everybody's dead.
How does that
I
work?
assume everybody's dead, right?
Right, and
Or are they frozen in? Is it suspended animation?
I mean, I think that's kind of the
or is it
notion
supposed
for
to
the
be dead?
I think-
Because gray means dead.
well, also if the planet is dead, what's that do with the magnetosphere and the core? How does that work?
it's all dead.
So if it's yeah, I mean there's probably a Kurzgesagt video. Do you guys watch those ever?
No.
I should send some to you. You might like them. They're really
sure.
cool animated
You
videos
don't
that
need to do that.
answer different sciencey questions.
Even the
Nope, I
clouds
will
are
be.
gray. Everything turns gray.
I wonder if something like this were to happen and the Earth's core just stopped existing, how long would it take for that to, for humanity to die off? Or would you go through a period of, I don't know, months or something where people are still trying to fight to live and figure it out, but sooner or later their fate is sealed?
If the core went cold,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, our magnetosphere would cease to exist.
So would that mean that our atmosphere would dissolve?
No, it would still be there. Compasses wouldn't work. I don't know all the repercussions that would be from that. The ionosphere would still exist, so we'd still be protected from radiation. But yeah, I don't know what if the core stopped spinning and went cold. What would happen?
I think it's just this thing's sucking energy. Everything's turning gray. That I would say for the purposes of the cartoon, they're not dead necessarily, but they are just suspended. They're just suspended.
Sure.
Obviously, their consciousness continue because they come back at spoiler the end of the episode.
Right.
They're on board Trypticon.
I thought there was a commercial break here.
I thought there was one too, but there's
I guess not. Okay, I put a note that there was. We're inside Trypticon. Skylynx is outside of Trypticon. He's tracking the signal. But the Primatives they're looking for the source of the signal. It's difficult to pinpoint. The Dinobots and Predacons get into it over a hot disc track. The Terracons get into the fray. They're attacking everyone. Trypticon takes control. He shakes the ops apart with a little Jurassic belly jiggle.
Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of the movie where they fight inside Astro Train.
Only it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Predaking and Abominus could combine inside of this guy.
It's got pretty tall ceilings, but they don't.
Nope.
What if Bumblebee was on here too? He's like, I'm a bee. All
Oh.
He just
confused.
sneaks on and using that as
I'm a
an
bee.
excuse.
We did see him in the background running with
Yeah.
Jazz on Cybertron. That
He
was
got all
weird.
froze. Skylynx has been scouting the area outside of Trypticon. He notices that the closer they get to the source, the space junk gets older.
Mm-hmm.
They land on an ancient planet, but they have not gone unseen as the mysterious creator of Tornedron is revealed to be watching them on its viewfinder. And he's not happy about their arrival. on this
I
planet.
don't like this. Skylinks' like arrogant loquaciousness is particularly prevalent in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the
I think-
point where I got kind of annoyed.
I think it's kind of fun. I mean, he is the only one that has the intellectual capacity to try and
Follow
keep
me.
this crew together.
Yeah.
So this is a completely different planet than where the monkey is.
Right. But somehow the monkey has line of sight
Yeah. Yeah.
to this planet.
Gotcha.
Maybe he knows his...
This must be a very ancient planet. There's like debris. There's debris around.
It's
it.
a little confusing
It is
because why
confusing.
does it have to... It doesn't have to be ancient, though it is, unless this planet just happens to be close to the planet where... We haven't revealed his name yet, but where Primacron lives.
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, this episode is a
Because
little
this guy,
confusing.
because the guy escaped, or the assistant escaped to this planet, so there's
Mhm.
no reason it has to be old, unless it's just
I think that they're just making you say
Escaped
this
a long time
this is
ago.
this is ancient. It's important.
sure, right?
Sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We all land on this old ass planet. A holographic robotic beast appears,
It
inducing.
looks like an ape.
Yeah.
Kind of.
and they call back to it. You see it as one of the early creations.
Mm-hmm.
And it induces Grimlock to charge to confront it. The hologram dissipates, and Grimlock falls down a steep cliff in a very cool, stylistic animation. And I even love how, we'll see it here in a second, I love how the camera pans up and you see Skylinks looking over it with maybe some of the other Dinobots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he swings into frame. I mean, it's another one where they just slide into frame.
Right. It's a cheap technique, but I think it looks.
It's-
although him falling down there
Yeah,
is
that looks great.
legitimately awesome. But then them just rising up
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Again, that's as you said earlier. They're like very typical Asian animation techniques, even more so than what we normally see. Yeah. I think there's some comedy to that.
Yeah.
Look
I've
at
never.
that
He's
shot.
got such an expressive neck swag.
Oh, how am I going to keep these
He looks
together? The little piston thing.
Yeah.
They- the-
And the way this wheel is drawn on the, we're just admiring it 11:12 on the YouTube
Triptychon's leg.
version of we're looking at Triptychon's leg and how that there's just this really intricately drawn, I guess, joint
yeah.
pistons and cogs in the back of his knee,
Knee.
of Triptychon's knee. Is I also am into the fan on the side of his leg.
Yeah.
It's well done.
It's very well done. So Skylinks commands the team to continue to try and locate the voice. He leads them to a cave, leaving Triptychon at the cavern's entrance. They encounter a bright, psychedelic light being who wants to drop some lore on that ass. Here's the deal.
Yep.
In the beginning, there was an organic known as Primacron. He built Primatives. They started small, but eventually they got bigger and bigger and bigger until Primacron eventually birthed a Unicron baby. Unicron was on the more aggressive side of the hostility spectrum and attempted to destroy Primacron. Primacron survived, and his assistant, the very disembodied voice that has been telling this tale, escaped to the dead world they all find themselves on
It's
now.
very
Question.
confusing. Go ahead.
The assistant is the Matrix.
That's the part I was just ready to talk about.
All
It's
right.
do it.
confusing and it's a mistake. Like, it's not clear why that even happens. And the theory that I read was that it's because the animation studio wasn't really aware of what the Matrix was, and they just designed it because it was what killed Unicron in the movie, or they just put it in there.
So the assistant to that monkey is the Matrix.
I mean, in this episode, but not really. The assistant to the monkey.
Yeah, to Ryan's point, I think if I understand it correctly, they just sort of thought the Matrix. They didn't know what the Matrix was,
Right.
maybe, or so they thought it represented something connected to
Okay.
Unicron.
So in
to
actuality,
the death of Unicron, so they just used it as a
Yeah.
symbol.
all right. So, but now,
but it's confusing.
correctly on this, the assistant is like a glowing, weird, shimmering mirror
Yeah.
thing.
I don't
Also,
in a cave, right?
a ghost monkey.
Yeah.
Is that? Are we assuming?
Oh,
the
you
ghost
think
monkey?
it's a ghost?
You think the ghost monkey was the assistant?
You think the
Well,
assist-
that's what he showed just a minute ago, where like the guy was standing behind him.
You think the assistant was also a monkey?
Well, it looks like an ape to me, like that guy. See, that was the hologram guy.
Okay,
that
I
Grimlock
just assumed
charged.
that was a primitive. That because during this sequence he's talking about.
Well, that would mean
How-
we never see the assistant.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I don't think we do.
Oh my god!
The way the story was told,
Yeah.
I thought that was just an example of a primitive that
Oh,
Yeah, one of
the
the
guy Primacron had created.
I thought when he exploded, that meant that he became energy. But
Let's just
oh.
watch and record. I'm sure you'll find some use to chop this up.
In my position, and you will not go far wrong.
Grimlock says
That was
Bad
a bit of a
voice acting.
That was a bit of a stutter.
You'll not go far wrong.
Skylings would look there.
Which that was also funny and happened for no reason.
Where Razor Claw bumped into Grimlock for no reason.
Are they all drunk?
there's some humorous moments in here that just blink and you miss them.
We have summoned you here to tell you a tale of long ago.
Oh, me Grimlock long ago
He
tale.
just thumbs it
Then
up.
allow me to tell it. Near the beginning of the galaxy, an organic being we shall know as Primacron built some of the Primatives. As his powers grew, so too did his ambitions. His creatures were bigger, and finally, he created the...
Maybe you're right,
No,
Ryan.
no, I don't think so. I don't think that that's the assistant. I think that is one of the primitives, the early primitives that were created. I do not believe that that is the assistant standing behind the monkey.
The reason I thought it. Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong about how I'm looking at this visually. Is he holding it,
I thought
or is
that
it in
too.
the
It's the
background?
in the background. He's not holding it.
I thought he was holding a toy too when I first saw it.
What the fuck?
But no, it's in the background. It's not. It's not. It's weird. The whole
I
layout's
think it
weird.
could go either way. Now,
Okay.
now that I realize it's in the background, I think it could be the assistant.
Listeners, let us know what you think.
I don't believe it's the assistant. It's just he has created a primitive. It's
one
back
of his
there,
creations.
and the assistant is the Matrix, and then it,
And also has a Starscream-esque sort of.
when it landed on
quality.
the planet, it became like a
Hologram.
like a holographic mirror.
But then why did it appear as this character?
What I
Oh.
assume that it was a hologram projected in order to set the team on the right direction
lure
towards
them.
the cave.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my. Okay. Sure. Whatever.
But why would they use this?
Why
if
would
this is an early beast form, why would the narrator use that as his hologram if it wasn't reflective of what he is?
why would the narrator use something different in the
Why wouldn't he
cave
just project
than that?
a vision of the screen that we saw him at?
Donald F. Glutt, get back to us.
We need to write a letter.
This is like a burning bush thing.
Let's finish this out.
This is what
So
this
too
is.
did his ambitions. His creatures were bigger, and finally, he created the monstrous Unicron. Unicron decided to rule himself and tried to dispose of Primacron.
Never would have
Well, and I guess that would mean that thing is dead, so that can't be the narrator.
Right. It's not.
Well, I assumed when he died, he became a force
energy
ghost.
being.
Yeah.
We can go. Who fucking knows?
It doesn't matter.
Broken but alive, while I, the Primacron's assistant, escaped to this dead world.
Okay, go back to where that thing's rising up. Is he rising out of that?
He do, I don't
primitive's
think it
body?
shows anything.
It shows something that he's rising out of at the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
There.
It is that thing.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It is that thing. Ryan, you said there was nothing, and now
I-
it backs
I-
actually
right.
backs up. It
Yeah,
backs
see,
up
that's
what
what
you're
I'm saying.
It backs up my my theory.
Okay. I guess.
So there. So okay. I still think it's bizarre, but I am more open to the idea that that was the assistant, and now its life force is coming out of that body in the form of the Matrix, and
But
then
maybe it's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
and then it used a hologram of itself, like Ryan. All right, I'm more leaning towards Ryan's theory now.
I'm the winner.
I stand.
we had to go
corrected.
frame by frame on
I
this
did
shit.
though. I did.
But maybe another thing is, it's not the Matrix. Maybe the animators just saw the Matrix as a way that souls can transfer from place to, or this form. Like, it's not the Matrix. It's just a vessel that a soul can survive in.
I think now that
guess.
this confirms that there is more than one Matrix out there.
You're right. Let's start all new lore, multiple Matrixes.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs living together. Oh man, that took some detective work.
Yeah,
but we got
there.
I love this little battle sequence on Unicron before he explodes, and then the explosion itself is just fantastic.
So now this guy is also on a metal. The monkey is on like a metal planet that's also surrounded by floating debris.
And is also old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two different planets.
Yeah. I don't know why they made it two different
Both
planets.
of them being surrounded by
Old debris.
junk and debris.
And the tech on the monkey's planet, Primacron.
It's like stone computers.
Yeah, it looks really old.
Yeah. Okay. It's starting to make more sense to me now.
As we know, Unicron was eventually blown the fuck up, but Primacron kept creating, and Tornedron is the result of that. It's a cannibal made of living energy, and it's a slave to Primacron's desires. Or is it?
Or I hope he's able to keep him under control.
Me too, because it's a powerful entity. Primacron is an Einstein, but the assistant explains perhaps the simple brains of the Primatives
Yeah, that's weird.
are the key to Primacron's defeat.
This is the logic in this episode is all over the place.
I love how they even bring, like, this has got to be a video element that they've somehow superimposed.
I agree.
The textures
the
used
mirror
on
thing, like, it looks live action almost.
Do you think this is like, you had those students helping out animate it? There was like, let's try this technique.
Yeah, they
Yes.
brought some fresh ideas to the mix.
Okay.
The Primatives exit the cave, and just as they do that, Tornedron attacks. It takes on a dragon beast form, and
Yes.
while Trypticon fights valiantly, he is ultimately felled by the dragon. Bone white, drained of energy, Trypticon slowly falls to the ground, leaving the remaining Primitives scrambling to escape his sky-scraping girth. The Primitives barely make it out, but there's one who is missing: Dinobot leader Grimlock.
Yes.
We're going to commercial, but that can't be our first commercial break.
I wouldn't.
We're fucking 13 minutes in.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. As lifelong friends, we care about each other's well-being and are open to discussing them not only with each other, but also with you all. Our listeners will attest that we talk about mental health a lot on the show. We truly want this podcast community that we're a part of to know that there are folks out there that care and help is available if you need it. We've advocated for therapy on the show, and with BetterHelp therapists, you get the same trusted professionalism and quality you would expect from an in-office therapist, but with the ability to communicate when and how you want. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/autopod today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/autopod. So sorry, but I'm good to go now.
Good. I hope you feel good.
I do. It's something I would normally do before
I feel
we record.
empty. Yeah, it's like, I don't think he's peeing.
No, I had to poop.
He called the shit poop.
That would suck to get crushed underneath that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't be good.
No.
I've been watching a lot of disaster videos,
Great.
and now I'm afraid of burning to death. I've been having nightmares.
great. Well,
It's called Fantastic Horror, I think, or
great.
something like that. The YouTube channel, and yeah, it's just about disasters. And I'm like, oh, if we were to do another podcast, that would be fun to do disasters. But yeah, it's a lot of fires and buildings collapsing, locomotive crashes.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I watch like 5 or 6 of them a night.
Yeah. Well, that's
how you go to sleep.
yeah.
Yes, it is, and it's not been going good. I replaced all the batteries in our smoke detectors because I've been having nightmares of burning to death.
Okay. Well, you know what to do here. I'm not going to tell you how to
Stay the course.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to make sure your smoke detectors are up to snuff.
Oh, I also had a dream that we died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Did you update those batteries?
I don't have one.
Oh, you're gonna die.
Yep.
That's a better way to go than
Like Weird Al's parents.
fire. What?
Weird Al's parents died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the night, and he had to perform that night after getting informed that his parents were dead.
I still haven't seen
He
that
went
movie.
on stage. No, me neither.
The quote-unquote biopic.
I don't know how to see it.
I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to find out if that's your
Isn't it
hurdle.
on Peacock or something? I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
All right.
Google it. Jesus Christ. Oh God.
Hey Siri, how can I watch the Weird Al
my
biopic?
God.
I found this on the web.
Just tell me. Don't make me click through.
Oh, God.
Rainn Wilson is in it.
No
also.
wonder Siri is dying.
We are becoming we're becoming my dad. Here's what my dad did. Here's what my dad on Saturday. My dad
It's on Roku.
my dad called me. It was this on Friday. Him and my mom went to Best Buy to get him a new iPad case, and he left his iPad at where I was working, which was at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
He texts me, "Do you have the iPad near you?" And he called me.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, this is when I was on the phone with the IRS for like
Sure.
45 minutes, and then I had to disconnect from that attempt to talk to my dad. He goes, "What kind of? I need you to go into the settings and tell me what kind of iPad I have. They don't have a tape measure up here." He was trying to get them to.
Oh.
He wanted me to like measure the iPad so that they could find the right iPad case, and they were like, "Sir," they told him, they said, "Sir, this is not a Home Depot. We don't have a tape measure." And my dad's like, "You don't have a tape measure in the entire store here?" And
I
that
would
was
think they'd have to have a tape measure.
Why would you
so-
think
anyway.
they'd
I'm
have
just
a
saying.
tape
I'm just
but
saying.
it's also pointless.
I'm just saying. He's
You need the model.
it was becoming that where he was like, just measure I just need a tape measure. It'll all work out. So that kind of.
Why wouldn't you just take the
what's
iPad to the store?
I know. Well, what we're doing right now, though, like was reminding me of
How do I watch
where we're heading. Yes.
There's a podcast I listened to, I think it was last podcast on the left, where the guy was like, yeah, my mom called. She got an email that was like, we took a picture of you in the bathroom and we're going to put it on the internet. And she called in a panic, like, how did they get it?
At what point are the internet schemes going to be so sophisticated that they fool us?
I don't know.
Didn't you get one of those emails where it's like, we saw you masturbate?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't believe. I mean,
No, I know you
it freaked
didn't.
me out a little bit. I didn't believe it though, but it had enough information. If I was like a little bit more boomer, I'd have probably been freaked out.
Yeah, I mean, those scams get a lot of old people.
I mean, it put one of my passwords in there, so that was pretty convenient. Like that was a pretty compelling.
What if it's true?
It's not true. If it was
It
true,
was me.
if it was true, my employer, who they threatened to send it to,
Why?
everybody in my email inbox would have seen it.
Also, why would anyone care if they saw a video of someone masturbating? Who gives a shit?
Oh well, I mean, you're saying
I probably would.
I would not. Yeah, I would care. I would care
Really?
if like an email of me jerking off went to
Yeah.
everybody in my company. Yeah, I would be very embarrassed.
I mean,
Huh.
I'm probably playing with my nipples at the same time.
Interesting. I would not give a shit.
I'm probably just.
I'm
I'm like,
not-
why'd you watch it?
That's a pretty vulnerable state.
Eh.
Okay.
Everybody does it.
Well,
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but
But not everybody gets their video leaked.
I actually kind of like it. I like the idea.
you're being,
I'm gonna send it to everybody in
I'm
my
gonna-
company.
I know who
you're
I'm gonna
just being
harass.
you're being contrary.
Am I, or
Yeah.
am I telling the truth?
It could be both.
It doesn't. It's
both.
not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
We're back from commercial. Dizzy with rage over the alleged death of Grimlock, Skylynx goes beast mode on Tornedron, unleashing a flurry of blasts and missiles, but it is to no benefit as Skylynx is immediately turned to lifeless steel.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's such great animation.
This episode really is wall-to-wall action.
It is.
I'm into it.
Muddled by Skylynx's departure, the remaining primitives split up and retreat. However, Primacron quarters Tornedron's essence, I guess, and sends it hunting the primitives in 4 intimidating modes. We've got a tiger mode, some sort of Gundam-looking guy, a Zelda Gleeok dragon, and then a single-headed Batwing dragon, and it goes off to basically takes out everybody.
It seems to take on a beast mode of its own, depending on to complement the beast that it's fighting.
Yes, because when it faces Predaking, that's the Gundam guy.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that. So why did it turn into a spider for Cybertron
Well-
on Earth?
Unclear.
Oh, you think it would just turn into another planet?
Which
Which that's kind of Unicron's.
Right.
That's actually it would be like a Unicron kind of situation, which that would have been kind of cool.
The tiger just devours. Was it Ratbat?
It does put it in its mouth. Yeah.
Look at that shot. So look at that. That's such a cool shot.
Yeah. And then we get this weird Predaking
I love it.
with this huge forearm.
Yeah, his hips are all thrust forward.
I think we've demonstrated that lasers don't work.
Oh wow! It decombined as it died.
Yeah.
Although we still see the image of Predaking behind it. Then we get a Hydra.
Is he eating rocks
And
and,
spitting
He's spitting
them
him
at
out.
them?
Hunger, is eating rocks and shooting them out of his mouth, which is pretty cool.
Everything is just so fucking creative.
I do hate the idea that Unicron was created by this douchebag. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, yeah. I do though kind of think it's interesting from like like a Wizard of Oz comparison. Like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The creator of Unicron is not as awesome as you would imagine him to be. There's a lesson in there somewhere.
This is completely ignored by all other fiction of the Transformers for the origin of Unicron, by the way.
Yeah, understandably so. It's disappointing, but I kind of like the message that it has. Like,
Yeah. It's for all the good stuff about this episode, though. It is sort of a disappointing.
Yes.
yeah,
way to. Like, you could do Man Behind the Curtain and not have it be this tiny little
monkey.
freak.
Yeah, I agree. No, I don't enjoy it. I wasn't like I didn't see it and was like, yes, brilliant. I think they could have done a better job with getting that kind of lesson across. Yes, I agree. And I think the episode just falls.
We're about to get pretty disappointing.
Yeah, for as amazing as an episode as it is, in one respect, it ends. It just ends
It's a harsh
flat.
landing.
Yeah.
We go back to Triptychon. Some energy is bursting from the ground beneath the beast's lifeless body. An explosion, and Grimlock is unburied.
Mm-hmm.
The assistant has a little powwow. I think that's racist. The assistant has a little convo. Lets Grimlock know, hey, you're it, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. And Grimlock is not intimidated at all, which is pretty cool. I do like that.
Well, that's
Grimlock's
his
just like,
whole MO.
let's do this. He's got the shit. So it's time to find Primacron's lair. Grimlock, who has a jetpack, just takes off to follow Tornedron, who he knows is headed home.
This is the only episode, I think, where we see Grimlock fly in dinosaur form. Usually he's in robot mode when he flies.
It's Grimlock in season 3 more than Rodimus? Is Grimlock?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Rodimus is in almost every episode except this one.
He is in this one.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking of the last one.
It just seems
Most
like
episodes that have Grimlock also have Rodimus.
Yeah.
it just seems like Grimlock gets gets a lot of airtime. in
Especially
season
as we
3.
get to the close. I mean, he was, I guess, just so immensely popular they couldn't
Yeah.
let go
He
of him.
seems to
Although
be. Like,
this is the last episode with the Dinobots.
True.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Sorry to.
I know
sorry
it
to
makes
hear
me
that for
sad.
you, Ryan. We are going to Tornedron's home, and things aren't well there.
This
At least
weird
yeah.
tiger face.
Yeah, it's like a tiger monkey.
Yeah,
I don't know what this is supposed to resemble, but
it's pretty creative.
here's the deal. Tornedron has now become, he may have always been sentient, but now it's rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
And despite the dozens of failsafes that Primacron built into this creation, T-Drone means to kill Primacron and take his life energy.
He says something like, "It's time to eat at home," or "eat home."
He said, "There's nothing like dining at home," or is that on home?
Yeah.
And it's like he's got the 1980s pun humor going on. As Primacron panics, Grimlock smashes through the roof of his chamber, and we saw Primacron's face a little bit earlier, but now his entire form is revealed, and it's a small, weak, childlike body. Grimlock says to Primacron, after kind of making fun of him a little bit, hey, you got to fix this. And Primacron's like, I've pulled every lever, I've flipped every switch, he's turned every dial, and he's tried everything. Then we get the fun everything. What about this switch? And it's a switch I think is maybe marked reverse.
I don't think it's marked. I hate it, but yeah, he just pulls. Literally, they call it the reverse switch, and
Right.
it's so infuriating.
Of course, the reverse switch.
Why didn't I think of that?
It's only right there. And
It reverses polarities.
well, here's the deal, Ryan. He not smart primitive like Grimlock.
Yeah.
With the polarities reversed, Tornedron takes the journey we've seen it go on backwards, and it brings life back to the Dinobots, Triptychon, the remaining primitives, eventually the deactivated life forms on Earth and the moons. And I guess everything's back to normal.
I guess.
Grimlock is very happy about this. He stomps through Primacron's lab, celebrating his joy, which enrages Primacron. You're destroying my lab. But this may be the smartest thing Grimlock has ever done.
Also, Primacron said he wasn't going to continue making experiments, so what do you care? But it's like, this is my stuff.
Still gotta
Still
clean
his
up.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at the end of the episode. I just don't like the design of Primacron.
No. It's ridiculous.
I don't.
Why the helmet? I don't understand.
I'm guessing that's the like Caleb was kind of saying that's the joke.
I guess.
This
It's a joke, but also like, I keep trying to say there's a lesson here. It's just an interesting, like, this amazing person that's responsible for creating all this stuff is this little puny,
right.
not necessarily
not
that
intimidating.
Yeah, and not necessarily the most intelligent thing. Yeah, it's a weird wrap up. I would have liked to see a 2-parter where they do better.
Of course, the reverse switch. Why didn't I think of that?
You don't like that?
It's genius. There's a lesson in there.
There was a lot of potential for this. The whole idea of the primitives being the things that could solve this really complex. I like that idea.
Yeah.
But ending it with the reverse switch.
It was
Because
very
there's two-
much like, well, we've written ourselves into a corner.
It seems like a companion episode to Grimlock's New Brain in a weird way. They deal with
they're pretty close together too.
They deal with Grimlock's intelligence or behavior a lot. A lot in season 3. It seems like that's a thing that they constantly come back to as a theme. Is his intelligence and his behavior and the balance of that.
At least he's no longer rebellious like the dickhead of season 1. So that's it.
He's grown.
Few little notes. We touched on some of this earlier, but because of the highly exaggerated and really flamboyant, unique style associated with this episode, fans have long associated it with a studio called Studio Ox, which at the time wasn't really an animation studio. It was a freelance art studio. It did anime-styled Transformers arts for various I think they would do production design, but the work would also end up in different publications. They eventually did form a production company that did conceptual art for anime, but again, I don't think they were actually doing animation. But Studio Ox was defunct by 2003, but the artists all had their own unique style, and actually the guy who animated the sequence of that freaky Predaking that you were talking about was a member of Studio Ox.
Okay.
So there is some connection there, but in 2020, a little bit more light was shed on it. The director, which I know I'm going to mess this up, Eiji Suganuma, who, I believe all this was revealed in a Twitter thread. I tried to figure out how to translate it to get more exact about what he was saying, but I think it was with Chris McFeely, and so I just basically followed the TF Wiki story on this. But the director revealed that the episode was actually contracted to Toei, who subcontracted a portion of the work to Studio Look, which we've started to see make appearances in other episodes, and then they subcontracted to the International Animation Institute, as Ryan alluded to earlier. So my thought is they probably did the majority of the work, and what I'm guessing is they, as younger students, they were probably more influenced by the anime of the time, and so they were like, they just took it as an opportunity, and it's crazy to me to think they were just got the opportunity to do this episode.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, Studio Look did do a lot of anime as well. Like, they were involved in Akira and some other series, so...
Cool.
But nothing that we know of as associated with Studio Look had the flair.
Yeah, that's true.
That this thing did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. That's it, and that makes total sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a shot of life for me this season with very few animation highlights. It was nice. It was nice to see. And also sad because, like I said earlier, why more? Just let's get them college students. Let's keep them busy.
Yeah.
I mean, pay them for their work, of course.
Whatever.
Whatever. Just make me happy with good drawings. Curtain call. Let's give a hello and goodbye to Overkill and Slugfest, who popped out of Soundwave's chests and into our hearts, only to leave us too soon.
I had Slugfest as a toy.
I did too. I had both of them. I think they were a 2-pack.
Oh. I don't remember having Overkill, but
Did you steal them from me?
maybe. Give me that. This is mine now.
And as Ryan said, with that, we say goodbye to not just the Dinobots, but also Trypticon.
Yes.
Oh man, I had a joke. The Dinobots and Trypticon are now extinct.
Good one.
We also say goodbye to Ravage and Jazz.
Yes.
Or was it Monka Spanka that we saw
In the background there.
Planet earlier? Yeah.
And Unicron.
Oh, I didn't have that.
Yep, that's the last appearance of Unicron in the Western series.
Wow.
That's it. Goodbye. New voice actors. Not really new. Primacron was voiced by Philip L. Clark, who fan favorite Augie Kane, Abdul Fakati, few other lesser people.
And my sister's goat.
And we had Tornedron, voiced by Neil Ross, and the assistant, who is the character is credited as the Oracle, was, can you guys guess? You can figure it out really easy, I bet. It was Greg Berger.
Oh,
I wouldn't have guessed.
Who I wonder if we say goodbye to him now.
I don't
Since
know.
there's no more
I don't have
Grimlock.
that. I did not prepare that information.
In the real world.
Ayo, call the Primatives, November 18th, 1986, in the American Top 40. Amanda by Boston is number one, so I picked a fun little bubblegum pop R&B number from this year, Jermaine Stewart's "We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off."
Sounds like a white knight.
But your version, Ryan, would be, we don't have to put our clothes on.
We can send our masturbation videos to everyone we know for Christmas.
Yeah.
This was the lead single from his second studio album, Frantic Romantic, written by Narada Michael Walden and Preston Glass. This single seemed to reflect more modesty regarding sex due to the AIDS epidemic at the time. When interviewed by Donnie Simpson in 1988, Stewart spoke of the lyrical message within the song, quote, I think it made a lot of people's minds open up a little bit. We didn't only want to just talk about clothes, we wanted to extend that. We wanted to use the song as a theme to be able to say you don't have to do all the negative things society forces on you. You don't have to drink and drive. You don't have to take...
Society definitely is
I
forcing
know.
that on you.
You don't have... Well, this is the 80s, so... At this point, cops would just let you go. You don't have to take drugs early. The girls don't have to get pregnant early. So the clothes bit of it was to get people's attention, which it did, and I'm glad it has a positive message. It was a positive message. An interesting fact about the music video: it was directed by David Fincher, who went on to direct many excellent films, including Seven, Fight Club, Zodiac, and Curious Case of Benjamin Button. This song was Stewart's biggest commercial success, peaking at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and charting in the top 10 in Canada, Ireland, and the UK. We don't have to take our clothes off. You can come in my mouth. Oh yeah. That's the lyric. That's the
lyrics. That's the lyrics.
Number 1 of the box office. For those of us just joining our podcast on episode 205, Crocodile Dundee is number 1 forever. So we're talking about.
When does it? Someone asked, and I did not know. I was too lazy to Google it. How much longer? When does it stop being number 1 at the box office?
It's number 1 for like 9 weeks, which is almost the whole run of season 3, because it's the last half of we do have one episode coming up where we get to talk about Star Trek 4, but.
Yeah. All right. So
Can't
what did you pick instead?
Chopping Mall.
Cool.
Nonsensically named Chopping Mall. You guys probably don't.
Why
know.
is it nonsensically named Chopping
There's no
Mall?
chopping.
Oh.
It's not a slasher.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, then what is it, a horror movie?
Hey, we'll get to that.
Okay.
The film was originally released under the title Killbots, which is much more accurate to the plot because it's about a bunch of robots that kill people.
Ah.
But it performed poorly, and producers thought audiences might think based on the original poster that it was a Transformers-like cartoon instead of a violent exploitation movie. So they changed the name to Killbots and chopped 15 minutes off of it, which means it barely limps to the 77-minute mark. The plot surrounds a group of young mall employees who stay after hours for a late-night party in one of the stores. The mall goes into lockdown, and the newly installed robot security system malfunctions after being struck by lightning and goes on a killing spree. The film was intended to be shot on location at the Beverly Center, but the production wasn't able to afford the fee. Instead, the majority of filming took place in the Sherman Oaks Galleria, where Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Commando was also shot. The Beverly Center was just used for exterior shots, which, if you look at it, looks like someone just drove by filming the exterior of the mall. The movie stars horror all-stars Kelly Maroney from Night of the Comet, Barbara Crampton from Reanimator, and character actor Dick Miller, and then there are cameos by Paul Bartel and Mary Warnoff, the latter of which was also in Night of the Comet, but both of those people were the stars of Eating Raoul.
Classic.
Mm-hmm. It's a ridiculous film, but it's fun for what it is. And
So the only thing that got chopped was the runtime.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like 96 minutes, and they cut it down to 77.
All right, great. Anything else to talk
That's
about?
the real world. That's it.
Well, why don't we deviate?
There's not much in here.
That's unfortunate.
As noted before, this animation is very different. A lot of people point to this as the best animation of season 3. Low bar, like I said. But it is also one with some of the least animation and coloring errors. No original script online for this one. It was written by Donald F. Glutt, who we've covered many times. He wrote a bunch of G1 episodes: Divide and Conquer, SOS Dinobots, War of the Dinobots, Heavy Metal War, Autobot Spike, Dinobot Island 1 and 2, Megatron's Master Plan 1 and 2, The Autobot Run, and Masquerade. He also wrote for G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, Spider-Man, and DuckTales, and as is evidenced by how many Dinobot episodes he penned, Glutt is a dinosaur enthusiast and has written several non-fiction books on the subject. He also wrote the novelization for The Empire Strikes Back. Glut also wrote 12 of the 13 episodes of the 1983 cartoon The Biscuits,
What is that?
which I do not remember. It's about a group of tiny anthropomorphic dogs living on a small island in medieval times, safeguarding the riches of local kings.
Bizarre.
Yeah, Peter Cullen and Frank Wilker were also voices on that show. It's spelled Biskitts. Yeah.
They are so cute and adorable.
Peter Cullen was Dogfoot and Frank Welker was Itch.
Which one of these do you think is dog?
I have no clue.
This looks like an itch to me. This is probably Dogfoot. Or is it this guy since he's got a cane? I don't know. Kind of like their little Flintstonian
Yeah.
meets Middle Ages logo.
The Biscuits.
I wonder if when did the Gummy Bears animated cartoon come out? This seems like this would be
I feel like it was like
later than this.
87.
Yeah. Biscuits.
That's script
like it.
deviations.
Well, we can rate the scheme. I wanted it to be really good.
If I didn't see the last, if I had never seen the last minute, and they were like, "How do you think this is going?"
How do you think it's going?
I'd be like, "This is going great." It's gonna be like, I'm gonna give it like a 9, and
Yeah.
then if they would, and then now that minute, I've seen that minute, I'm gonna give it a like 3. No, that's too harsh. The scheme is actually pretty good. It backfires, but I'll give the scheme a 6. I mean,
Yes. Yeah, he fucked up the first time with Unicron. Then he fucked up again with this guy.
yeah,
I guess the schemes aren't very good.
no, but
Like I said, he's a very poor scientist.
the things he creates are amazing, though.
I guess he's a
He
good
created
sci-
Unicron. He created
scientist.
Tornedron. Like
He's
his-
good at creating, not good at figuring out how to control them.
Mhm.
Yes, I mean he single-handedly that thing within an episode. You know, it destroys
Earth?
Cybertron, Earth, the Moon, all of your Transformers characters except for Grimlock.
A comet,
A comet, like it's probably the most powerful thing that we've ever seen
right?
on the show, and if you include the movie.
Just I don't know. I think of like how dramatic the introduction of Unicron was.
Yeah.
And that to know that it's all rooted to this
This
little fucking
weirdo.
guy.
Yeah, no, that's what that's the troubling part. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the scheme.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're right.
scheme. No, so that I will have to give it like the scheme itself is a 6 or 7, but it backfires in a way that's doesn't work out so well for him. What do you think?
Ryan, any more insight?
Nah.
You're not
No.
going to rate it?
I think we called it.
Okay.
Good job. All right. So okay, we can.
I'm the ghost of the iconic moment.
You know,
What would you say that it is?
I think I just wrote that weird, like just the stylization, but like I guess the apotheosis of it would be Predaking, like that weird Predaking illustration.
I put the reveal of Unicron was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That Unicron that he created Unicron, and we get to see those cool drawings.
I'd say the
Grimlock always
This
saves the day
episode-
by he's being smart by being dumb.
This episode did make me want to draw. Like watching it, I'm like, oh.
my iconic moment is when Grimlock flips the switch and saves the universe. It's iconic.
Unforgettable.
It is iconic. Yes.
Next time on the Autopod Decepticast.
We will discover that the Transformers are not the only interstellar race to experience oppression from the 5-faced devils.
Yeah.
Is that Little John?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. If you'd like to support the show, we invite you to check out our Patreon that has several levels of support that come with a wide variety of benefits. Get the booty box at the $5 level.
It's
best-
probably gone out by this point.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Sure.
We are meeting up next Friday or the Friday after
Huh? Oh,
to ship
I don't
it,
remember.
to pack everything and ship it.
Like the 20th, I think, was when we were doing it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Patreon.com/APODcast. You can buy individual items at the APDC store at autopoddecepticast.com/store. Finally, buy us a drink, $5. Tell us what you want us to consume,
Mm.
and we will do it. Patrons, you can just tell us what to drink. You don't have to pay us. You can hang out with us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all of them at APODcast. Hey, if you're a Patreon, hang out at the Discord.
Yeah.
We got that toy talk. We
Fun
got that.
stuff.
Is this music nobody cares about but Caleb and
I
me
never look
occasionally?
at it. I click on it to remove the fact that it's highlighted, and then I immediately leave.
So you just go like through the neurotic step of
Yeah,
unhighlighting.
I just don't care.
Oh, you don't care about the Discord, or you?
No,
just-
I don't care about this. Is this music channel?
Sure.
Well, I don't care about the cocktail channel. How about that?
I don't give a shit.
Whoa. Actually, I like the cocktail channel just fine. I was just trying to be mean.
Mm.
Show notes, follow-up materials, all of the fancy, cool goodness related to what we talked about today at our website, autopoddecepticast.com. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great summer.
It's gonna be fun. I'll be in. This will come out, I think, when I'm in Iceland.
I'm excited to hear about your Iceland trip when you get back. Don't tell me about it while you're there.
Okay. I'm gonna die on a berg.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna go.
That's the way you always wanted to go.
I'm gonna jump in a volcano.
I planning a vacation this year, like a little, I say mini vacation. We'll probably be gone 5 days to Costa Rica. You guys know shit about Costa Rica?
Not too much. I know it's popular to go to. I know that
I've been doing a little
People
research.
seem to like it.
The reason that we're going there is we'll be able to go relatively inexpensively. I've got a lot of airline points booked up and are building a house there that they are going to Airbnb, but it's going to be available in August, and they're going to go down there for a month, and so we're just going to go down and chill. Basically, it's kind of the
America. A lot of Americans go there.
it's sort of the, I don't know, what's a European country people think of as progressive?
Ethiopia.
Serbia.
Okay, goddamn.
No, any
Like a
Nor-
Nordic. It's like kind of a
Norway.
Nordic style economy. Like the levels of happiness are there. The way they like healthcare is like it's a solid country that has social democratic values. Smack dab in the middle of Latin America. It's between Nicaragua and I can't remember what's on the southern border. But yeah, they don't have a standing army.
So we should invade, is what you're saying.
Take what they got. No, it seems like a pretty cool place. So we're trying to figure out how to get there. It all depends on when they get their house
Probably.
built.
I would recommend flying.
I mean, when to get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about driving,
Driving, you could do it. Oh God.
but the flight's not that long. It's like flying from like to Portland.
None of our flights are very long to Iceland. Like the longest one, I think, is 6 hours. But we have like the layovers are brutal. Like there's 7 hours in Atlanta.
Yeah, that is.
So
brutal.
we're just gonna go to the American Airlines lounge and get drunk. But like we arrive at like 9 in the morning and we leave like the next day because we leave at like I think 6 a.m. from here and arrive at 9:30 in the morning the next day in Iceland.
Reykjavik.
Yeah. I mean, technically the airport is not in Reykjavik, but yeah. And then on
What
our
are you
way
gonna do?
well, there's a fun spa we're gonna go to. And there are several tours that we're gonna do, like the Golden, what is it? Not Golden Hills, Golden Circle tour. There's a bunch of really cool restaurants, and they like hot dogs a lot there.
So you might eat one.
We're gonna eat a hot dog. We're gonna have an Iceland hot dog. They're made from lamb.
Oh.
And
What's special about the spa?
it's a hot spring spa, and they have like this 7-step ritual that you go through that's very cool, and spread mud on your body.
Yeah, sounds great.
It'll be cool. We're there for I think 8 days.
Are there any local festivals or anything taking place?
I don't think while we're there, but like there will be like 22 hours of sunlight per day, so that'll be interesting.
Hopefully you have blinds.
Yeah.
So it looks like their the condiments on their hot dogs are pretty much like ours. Onions, ketchup, mustard. But then they also do remoulade sauce, and yeah, they don't really that much more exotic. I do like the idea. I've never had a lamb hot dog before though, but it's good.
Yeah, there's some really cool restaurants around the place, and we're staying right on the main strip, and we're renting a car for one day that we might go to a glacier. And
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Just one more foreign country you've boned in.
Yep. I guess. I don't know.
That's the only reason I go anywhere. Tick off the foreign country sex list.
All right.
Bro Cells is the sponsor of Autopod Decepticast. Yes, 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 yes.